Hello friends and followers, this is episode 32, 18th of September 2017. I hope you've been well since the last episode, and thank you for coming to see another episode on my channel. In this episode I'm covering some of the crazy Bigfoot stories out there, from police reports from the 911 call centres, and some very strange sightings, and also some interesting findings from research. First up is a story about a baby that looks like Chewbacca, and I've changed the voices slightly on the reporter. She kind of sounds like she might be a transgender now.
It's going to sound crazy, but I went back and checked, and there were prints of Bigfoot with a baby.
There were what?
It was a Bigfoot with a baby, and I did see some footprints. And the stride was longer than anything I could make.
The woman says the creature's footprint was bigger than her 2 feet together end to end, and she wears a size 8. She says it was holding her baby the way a human would, but says that baby had a face only a mother could love.
And the baby was looking right at me.
And she says it looked just like Chewbacca from Star Wars. Could something that appears like it's from out of this world actually exist right here at home?
Have you ever gotten other reports like this?
I've never had a call like this in my life.
All right, he's been a dispatcher for 10 years, and Danner, a deputy, did drive out there to 43, check things out, didn't see a thing. But again, she did call 2 days after she claims that she saw those creatures, and she tells me that she knows that they weren't bears.
I don't know about you, but that report just cracked me up. And we're on to the next crazy story of a man that says he was kidnapped by Bigfoot. In 1924, a tramper named Albert Ostman claimed he had been kidnapped by a large male Bigfoot. He was then taken back to their camp and held for a week before he could escape. He believed he was taken as a unwilling bridegroom for a Bigfoot's daughter. Now, isn't that crazy? I can't hardly keep a straight face reading this. This is just one of the many stories where people believe people were kidnapped to be bred with Bigfoot. The next story is actually meant to be a true story from Russia about a village that had a sex-slave Bigfoot, and they bred with her, and she had children. And so a scientist went there to do some DNA research on the descendants to see if there was any strange DNA sequences, and they found out that that she was possibly a African black slave, and when they did more research they found that maybe she was like Lucy, like the really early African species, maybe captured and taken as slavery. I guess it's possible that there were pockets of African tribes that were very closer to early man than we initially thought. She was given the name Sana, as it says here, and she was a subspecies of modern day humans, and the professor's written a book on the whole case and how they extracted the DNA from dead relatives and other relatives, and also they did a BBC documentary about it all, which you probably can find online somewhere if you have a look. Skies has published a book, The Nature of the Beast, detailing the story of Sana and her descendants. However, according to Tech Times speaking on the genetic analysis results, Skies says they will be published in a regular scientific press, so they can't be more specific. Sana reportedly died in 1890. Lloyd Pye, who recently died, rest in peace, has been doing research for years to prove the Bigfoot is part of a hominoid family, and that humans are a genetic mutation, a result of alien DNA being spliced together with Bigfoot DNA. Is it possible? Yes, there are some that think so. Do we know that to be fact? Well, we may soon find out once Melba Kitchum finishes her DNA paper. She is currently writing the Bigfoot DNA, which I believe she's already done, and people just didn't pay much attention to it, even though it was peer-reviewed in different scientific journals. So there's been a bit of hoo-ha about that particular DNA research. Here's a story about Bigfoots being caught in forest fires, and that's being covered up, their bodies, by the forest industry or FBI or government agencies, so that's not known to the world. There's been a couple of reports like this. And here's an article about a Bigfoot shooting and body reclaimed. And this just proves that you should question everything you see and hear, especially from large YouTube channels, and to check and verify the facts and not even believe everyone because they're such good liars that they can keep a straight face and lie to your face straight away. And even he lied to his business partner, and when he told him, he broke up with him because he had morals. They were using it to tour around the country for shows and to make lots of money from it. And that's the main reason people lie to you. It's about driving their dollar to their pockets. Here's a picture of the guy, Dyer, the scumbag that probably is hated by most Bigfoot researchers now. Yeah, his sculptures looked pretty realistic there. He said the ape costume, rubber, and sculptured the face. And you can read about it all there. He made the excuse that the government were trying to silence him. And how many times have we heard that excuse used on big channels before that have been exposed? To show and omit proof of Bigfoot would involve reprogram the way society thinks and reacts to this species. There are states that are passing laws to protect anyone from harming or killing or shooting a Bigfoot. Many in society do not realize how often and how many species of Bigfoot are killed since this information isn't published. One report states that as many as 32 Bigfoot have been killed over the last 125 years. It is believed that there has been a possible government cover-up on some of the incidences up since 1968. Who would be affected by the publicity and physical proof of Bigfoot? The logging industry would feel threatened because they may face the possibility of being shut down to further protect the Bigfoot environment. FBI have claimed that the Bigfoot is the most wanted fugitive. They are apparently offering $500,000 for his arrest. I don't know if this is a joke or not, or whether it is a real article. It says here the police department received that from the FBI. So maybe it's legit, but it's probably someone in FBI's sense of humour. More government cover-up. A restaurant waiter overheard them discussing Bigfoot. And here's a post that was posted on a blog apparently, talking about the incident, and he was offered money to shut up, and he saw some photographs on a table. You can read through that if you want. It hurts my eyes a little bit because it's a fine print on that one. The problem is you don't know if it was that Dyer guy going around different Bigfoot blogs and posting articles and fake stories, or some other person hired by him to do that. Here's a strange story about someone seeing a Bigfoot piloting a flying saucer. I covered one of these stories in that Bigfoot and UFOs episode I did, so go and have a watch of that if you've missed it. And I thought I'd just include this interesting, funny story. So that leaves open to the question that maybe some of the Bigfoots were actually extraterrestrials that had their UFO crash land on Earth and couldn't escape back to their own planet, so they ended up living in the forests of the northwest USA. Here's another report about the Bigfoot being burnt and killed. It is said that in 1999, Battle Mountain in Nevada exploded and went on fire. An anonymous government employee alerted the Bigfoot Field Research Organization, BFRO, because Bigfoot was hurt in the fire. The anonymous government employee allegedly said that he had noticed an animal wounded by fire. The animal was moving on all fours like an ape. The firefighters captured the animal and contacted the local vet and medical doctor. U.S. Department of Fish and Wildlife, Department of Interior, and Bureau of Land Management were also present. A large human-like animal was supposedly tranquilized and moved to an unknown location. Those present during the fire and the capture of the animal were told to remain quiet about what had happened. It is believed that the animal was Bigfoot and that he was hidden by the authorities in a huge cover-up. Looks like no one bothered to tell that Matt Moneymaker guy from fighting Bigfoot, because he's never told that story. So maybe only someone in the organisation knew what was actually happening and they kept silent about it. Or maybe they're all part of the cover-up. Speculation. The question has always been why they don't find Bigfoot bodies. Well, here's a story from a school teacher that's witnessed 2 Bigfoots with 2 baby foots burying another large adult Bigfoot. Now, why didn't she mark the location and get someone to go back there and dig it up, is the question I would ask. I suppose they didn't have smartphones and GPS. So there's more questions than answers. But it also makes sense that a lot of animals would eat it and crunch up the bones, and there'd only be fragments and you wouldn't be able to tell what it was anyway. But sometimes you get teeth, big teeth or abnormal teeth. You often hear about skulls being found by people that were lost in forests and later died, and eventually someone stumbles across the body of the kid or whatever it was. So yeah, it does sort of make a mystery there why there's no Bigfoot bones. Maybe there's so few of them that they can't even be found while they're alive, let alone dead. Here's a crazy story from Afghanistan about the engagement with what become known as the Giant of Kandahar. We started hearing a rumour about a unit that killed what they were calling a really tall person. At first I didn't think any of it. I came to find out that the person they killed was actually 3 times the size of a man, had extra digits on their hands and on their feet, and had red hair. A special unit had come and wanted this target. We heard they killed this thing inside a cave or mouth of a cave. He confessed the story sounds ridiculous. At first you think this has got to be a joke. This has got to be a hoax, he admitted. Then after things go down a certain way and you keep hearing it, you start to realise it's not a joke. So how about that story? Very crazy, eh? Fascinating. Lastly, here are 3 more 911 calls to the operator about Bigfoot sightings. A couple of them sounds realistic and true, and another one, the guy sounds really drunk and out of it, and is quite funny. It could be true as well, but a lot of people think that one is a hoaxer doing a prank. But he did call twice that night.
Cleveland County 911.
I don't know if I should have called this in or not, but
What's going on?
if I'd had my camera, I took a picture of it.
Took a picture of who?
I don't know what it was. is walking upright like a man. I would not kill it because I was afraid to. But it went back up the mountain.
Cleveland County 911.
Hello.
Can I help you?
Yes. This is Tim Peebler.
Uh-huh.
You probably have my address.
Yes, sir. What's going on now?
I shined a light on this thing, but I would not shoot it.
Okay, what did it look like?
It looked like a giant ape with a man's face. But I was afraid to kill it. And it made a whistling sound. He was about 9-10 foot tall with real long arms. I go out there, he gets gone. Now I come back in the house, and he gets back there again, and my dogs are just raising heck. Would I get in any trouble if I shot and killed this beast, this animal, or whatever it is? Would I get in any trouble?
I can't answer that question.
If he goes too close to me, I'm going to kill him.
911, what are you reporting?
We got someone or something crawling around out here.
Did you see what it was? Was it a person or an animal or?
I can't tell. All I know is that my central light came on and I just happened to glimpse and see this thing running across the yard. A good-sized man or something. It looks like a man. I don't know what it was, just that it ran across the yard.
Okay. You've had problems in the neighborhood before?
Yeah, my dog was killed here just recently. I don't know what it was. Whatever it is, it's running. I couldn't catch it if I was going to chase it. But whatever it was standing up. I'm out here looking through the window now and I don't see anything. I don't want to go outside. Jesus Christ, you better... Sir? Dio!
Hello?
Get somebody out here.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a bitch is about 6'9", I don't know.
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes, I'm looking right at him.
Uh-oh. Okay, hang on.
He's right...
Is he in your yard, sir?
Yeah, God, he's big.
Okay, what's he doing in your yard?
He's looking at me.
Oh, and the guy is on foot.
I don't know what... It's a big, real big person. That's all I can say.
Okay, but it is a person.
Yeah, I'd say it was a person, somebody really big. But he's all in black.
Is he a black male or a white male? Did you actually see whether, or was he just wearing black?
He's all black and he's big. He is big.
San Antonio 911, do you need police, fire, or EMS?
I'm not real sure, ma'am. I just watched the biggest it was a critter, but it smelled real bad. I'm a homeless female. I live right in the middle of the woods, around 151, just north of Calabria on 1604 where the light is. This big thing was 75 feet away from me, smells awful, devoured a whole deer carcass, and then took off and, like, screamed, screeched, and took off across the street. And I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but I'm dead serious. There was something very big, a lot bigger than me, out here. So, just thought somebody should know. I really don't know what you can do about it.
How long ago did this happen?
This is, immediately. I don't know, it's animal control. I mean, it's
Okay,
huge.
again, now tell me, where was it? This is at 151 in Calabria?
Okay, yeah, the light at 151, just up from Calabria on 1604 where 1604 split, and you can get off on the access road to Calabria, or you can take 151.
Right.
That light right there is, yes, right in there. It is a very large, hairy animal of some kind.
Now, was it standing on 2 or 4? Or?
Well, if I told you it was standing on 2 legs, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I'm serious. It ran off at breaking limbs and trees. And it kind of screeched, howled, and a very creepy, scary thing. Because, like I said, I live in a tent. We're in the woods. So,
You live in a tent?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a homeless female. I live in a tent in the woods, and I just saw this freaky, scary, very large creature devour a deer and run off across the road. So,
okay.
I don't know.
Is there any way that we can have an officer contact you?
Yeah, I guess it's this number. But I'd really prefer, like, animal control or somebody bigger than me. I appreciate it. I just thought somebody should know that there's a very large animal in the vicinity.
Now, the deer was walking around and...
No, the deer was dead. And it got devoured. It was a carcass.
Okay, and do you see signs of a dead deer, blood, or whatever?
Actually, ma'am, I'm not gonna go check it out right at the moment. Is that okay?
That's fine.
I'm waiting for daylight. I don't own anything but a machete and a hatchet, so I'm kind of creeped out. I just thought, like I said, I thought somebody should know there's a very large something big enough to eat as deer and as a predator.
Are you with someone there?
Yes, ma'am.
Did they see it too?
Yes, ma'am.
How about if I have an officer contact you guys out there?
I'm not going to leave my camp right at the moment. I mean, if they want to come look at the light, she wants an officer to meet us. Yeah. Right, Carol. We're not leaving where we're at, is what we're trying to say. I'm a little bit scared, and it's raining, and I just want somebody to maybe check it out in the morning when it's not dark.
Well,
animal control, dude.
What I can do right now is I can have an officer patrol that area. Which direction did it run?
It ran across the light at 151, like towards the water tower on 2 feet, like my husband said. Something very weird. I just wanted to make a documentation and have animal control.
Had you ever seen or heard anything like this before?
No, ma'am. No, I've lived in the woods for a while.
I've lived in the woods for 6 years. I'm going to tell you right now, I've lived in the woods for 6 years. I swear to God, I've never seen nothing like this. This son of a bitch was bigger than me.
And it had a very odd smell.
I'm 6'3". I'm 6'3". It's bigger than me.
So,
6'3"?
It's bigger than 6'3". Yeah, it's very large. I
carried the carcass off.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He carried the carcass off. I mean,
he carried it
with nothing. I want to believe that it was a large cat or bear, but I'm thinking I'm not going to tell you what I think it is. Cause
what does he think it is?
What do you think it is?
Well, I tell you what, I don't know. I would be a liar if I said I thought I knew what it was, but I don't know. But I know it picked up that deer and walked with 2 feet.
Yeah. It's a very large something that smells bad and is bigger than we are. So.
Okay, so you saw it walk in which direction, or walk in which direction?
Towards the light at 151 and 1604.
It went towards the water tower.
Went towards the water tower area. And it screeched, howled, yelled.
Yeah.
When it worked up. I mean, my husband's a very large, nothing's ever scared him, ever. And, I mean,
we saw it too.
We both saw it, so.
It's good. You send some
no type of clothing, or?
No, it was fur.
Okay.
Or, as far as I can tell, I mean, it's a pretty light night out, because of the overcast. And, we doused our fire, and I have a blanket thing hung up as a tapestry, and it saw it over the top of that, and when it ran, it cracked branches.
Trees.
Yes, large. Like the size of a grizzly bear. Imagine that. But on steroids with 2 feet. So, you have 2 feet, Mama. I know. I just know what.
Okay. And did you, and what is your name?
Jennifer. Yeah, it's raining now and we can't hear nothing outside, so it's kind of scary. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll have an officer patrol that area and see what we can find.
I know. I mean, you guys might be able to find something. Animal control might be able to find tracks or something in the morning. It's hard to find tracks on this area because it's not. She said she's going to send a patrol around the area. So, right. And yes, you can call. Okay, get the light and go. Get the light. Get to the light. And sound the siren. And sound your sirens. He'll come out of the woods and talk to you. I'm scared to death, dude.
And you guys have your tent set up at 151 in Culebra?
I mean, not exactly, but yeah, I mean, it's in the area. Just go to the light and sound the siren, and we would hear you where we're at. And I'll come to you.
At 151 and 1604, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that 911 call sounded like a legit one to me, and that was in 2009. The one before it was 1996, and that guy sounded really legit, and he was on the phone looking at the thing through his window. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this edition, and I have another one coming in a few days, maybe, or a week. I have to work on it, and it'll be on Bigfoot vocals. So I hope you enjoyed the episode, and hit the like button out, and share it on your socials, and help the channel grow, and have a few comments there, and we can discuss it further in the comments, and whether you believe in Bigfoot or not, or found the stories funny. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you again on the next episode.